What's up everybody, welcome to my first NBA draft prospect breakdown. Today we're talking about the 37th pick in this year's draft, Chaz Lanier. Lanier is a 5-year college prospect who led the Tennessee Volunteers with 18 points per game in the SEC, widely regarded as the toughest conference in college basketball. He stands at 6'4", 200 pounds, and today we'll go over why the second-round pick could quietly change the future of the Detroit Pistons. In the NBA Summer League, Lanier showed flashes of his biggest strength, shooting. Against the San Antonio Spurs, he dropped 11 points in just 16 minutes, going 3 for 5 from deep. And this isn't just a hot streak. Lanier is a proven flamethrower, shooting 40% from 3 over his final 2 college seasons. With Tim Hardaway Jr. moving on to the Denver Nuggets and Malik Beasley's status still uncertain, the Pistons desperately need consistent perimeter shooting. Lanier's form is clean, repeatable, and jumps off the screen. He gets great elevation, almost reminding me a little bit of Ray Allen with how smooth his release looks. But Lanier is more than just a spot-up guy. He can run a pick and roll, taking pressure off Cade Cunningham when needed, especially with questions around Jaden Ivey's health after missing last season. The concern here is playmaking. Lanier only averaged 1.1 assists per game last year, compared to his backcourt partner Zakai Ziegler, who ran the offense and averaged 7.3 assists with 3 turnovers per game. Lanier only turned the ball over once per game, but that's mostly because he wasn't asked to create much. Pistons staff will definitely want to sharpen his decision making so he can scale up his role in the NBA. Still, his instincts as a scorer are undeniable. With 5 years of college experience, Lanier has already faced every type of defensive scheme. In the league, he won't be at the top of the scouting report, which could allow him to quietly carve out a role and surprise defenses. Last season, he even won the Jerry West Award for Best Shooting Guard in the country. Imagine a Pistons lineup with Cade, Chaz Lanier, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. With Ivey, Ron Holland, and Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench, suddenly Detroit has spacing, athleticism, and depth. And here's why Lanier truly feels like a Pistons player. His story. He was overlooked for most of his basketball career. As a junior in high school, he was only 5'6" and barely recruited. He worked his way up at North Florida before transferring to Tennessee, grinding his way into the SEC spotlight. This path is reminiscent of Dalton Knecht, another late-blooming player who went from under the radar to make an immediate impact in the NBA. Lanier is following in those footsteps, proving that hard work, patience, and perseverance can overcome initial doubts. Now let's talk NBA comparison. Chaz Lanier projects somewhere between a steady role player and a high-level contributor. A fair comp would be Gary Trent Jr., a strong-bodied guard who can knock down shots, defend and slide into a starting lineup or come off the bench as a scoring spark. At his best, he has some Norman Powell in him, explosive, confident, and able to swing games with his shot making. So while he's not a flashy first-round pick, the 37th overall selection, Chaz Lanier, could become exactly the kind of overlooked gem that Detroit thrives on, a shooter, a worker, and a player who perfectly fits the Pistons' identity. Following in Dalton Knecht's footsteps, he could quietly become one of the most valuable pieces of this young Pistons core.